So I've been in this trade since October 2023, and you might want to stick to the end of this video because I'll be showing you how I caught this massive trade, how I managed it, and what my next line of action is currently, because price is telling me something. Okay, so before we step onto the charts, if you're not subscribed, real quick, please hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out on other future important videos like this one. Okay, so let's step onto the chart and let me show you how I landed this massive trade. Alright guys, so welcome back to the chat. Now let's talk about this massive trade that I'm still holding from 2023, right? We can call this a trade-athon if there is anything like that. Okay, so real quick, my trade was caught from here, somewhere in here. It was 13th October, so yeah, somewhere in here, right? So let's do this. 13th October, somewhere in here. Okay, and my target was to the upside. Now, what was my motive? Why was I thinking like that? What did I see before I decided to hold this trade all the way to the top? Okay, so first off, I'm gonna start from the weekly time frame. Let me tell the story from there. So if you've been following me for a while, or even if you are in my private Discord, you will hear me say something like this, that this is my weekly low, and it created a high, a shallow low, right? And then we created this high, okay, which means this guy over here is a point of interest on the weekly time frame for me. Okay, so you realize that that is where the whole story started from. So let me clean this and let's mark this point of interest that I'm looking at right in here. Okay, so if you look at this point of interest, you realize that that is where price came to. Okay, we tapped into this point of interest nicely. It was like a kiss, okay, just like that, and price started moving. Okay, and like I said, my entry came from somewhere in here. Okay, somewhere right in here. Okay, so you can see where the weekly is coming from, where the weekly price action is coming from. A low, high, shallow low, high, tap in there, we can now start buying. So that is the reason, that's the first reason why I was expecting price to get to this high. Okay, I have not changed my mind anyway, but I will tell you what price is doing and what I think about what price is doing and my decision on what price is actually doing. Okay, so right after I've told this daily weekly story, I can look at the daily story as well. So on the daily story, we had this was my last daily low that created a high, and we took out the low. Okay, and I am very much aware that anytime price takes out a relevant structural point, I can start looking for certain kinds of setups or certain kinds of trades, right? So this guy has broken to the downside. The daily has broken to the downside. However, weekly is still bullish. So daily is saying that, hey, I want to retrace. Weekly is saying, hey, I want to get to a target liquidity. Okay, so you realize that they are both giving you like a buy story, but the weekly is more of like a continuation thing, and daily is more like a retracement thing. Okay, so even without stepping onto like intraday time frames, you will see this beautiful break over here. So this is like a change of intent that happened on the intraday level, and this alone was a confirmation for me that price is gonna push all the way to the top. Okay, so look at this real quick. The moment the intraday switch bullish, so let me step onto like, let's say H1 or M15, and let me try re-engineering price back to like, let's say 31st October. That should be fine. So the moment this intraday, if you watch closely, this was my last intraday high that created my intraday low. So the moment this guy broke, I know that we have changed intent, and like I said, because the daily time frame was looking for it to retrace, a change of intent on the intraday time frames confirms the daily time frames intention to retrace, right? So if you guys remember, I even did this breakdown on my YouTube channel, right, where I mark this beautiful POI on the intraday level, right, and I even mark one down here like this. Okay, and I said any of these two can react. So if you are wondering why I took my trade, it was from this particular POI. Okay, so the same breakdown that I shared with you guys, that was the same trade that I took, only that I decided to swing this trade. Okay, I decided to test my swing prowess with this particular trade. So like I said, intraday had done what? Switched intent nicely. Now there are other point of interest up here where price could have reacted from. Okay, but all these point of interest become reactive zones because this last one has been taken out. I'm not going to go into details with that because I don't want to waste any time. So right after this guy, we retraced into this decisional level, and this is where I got my entry. Now M1 will not allow me, price action will not allow me to come to like M1, okay, because of like the amount of like candles. I mean, it's far back in time, about 5 months or 4 months now, right? So the least I can go is like M3, just to show you my entry. Okay, so my setup was very simple. A break of intraday structure to the top, price returning to a point of interest, a decisional point of interest, for that matter, and then this is how I got my entry. So then when price tapped into this guy, okay, my entry was on M1 anyway, but you realize that it is also clearer on M3. Okay, so the moment we tap into this guy, we had this first break. Okay, this was confirmation enough for me to look for buys from here. Okay, so what happened was, because I couldn't get any buy from here, I was just paying attention to what price is doing. Okay, so in here I saw this first break on M1 like this. So on M1 this price action was looking like this. Okay, then we broke the first one like this one nicely. After this break we pulled down, which means this was the original entry, but I didn't get in here. Okay, I was late. So after this guy, okay, after this second push, which I call a follow through break of structure, so after this guy, that was where my entry came in. Okay, and so on M1 right in here, you're gonna see something like a range POI. So after this break, I just set my limit right in there. My stop loss went right in there like this. So boom, stop loss goes there. I think it was like 3 or 4, yeah, 3.5, something like that. So that was how my entry was looking like. Very simple. Now to the management of the trade. So with the first take profit, right, it was to this POI. There is a particular POI sitting here, okay, on intraday. Let me shift to intraday, right? So you're gonna see this guy over here. So that was my first place that I take profit. Okay, you don't hold all the whole 100% volume to 1:200, guy, come on. You don't do that. So we take some volume off right in here. Okay, then my next area of target was to the top. Okay, so if I go to like H1, which is this high over here, okay, that was my next area of target, and at that point price had done about 1:38, okay, which is super good. And someone will say, when price retreats, what did you do? I just left it. Okay, I was on break even, so I just left it. And apart from that, also I had taken majority of my volume off. The rest was just runners. Okay, just to test my swing prowess again. So I just left everything running and we just pushed up more. And I had certain areas where I was looking at for price to react, like this zone over here. I showed all of these areas in my breakdowns. So this was my first one, I call it an obstacle, and the second one came off right in here. If you guys remember, you can go through my YouTube videos, you're gonna see them. So all these two areas were my focus areas where I felt like price was going to give me a reaction. Okay, but price broke through all of them, and this is my target. Even though we've not gotten there yet, price is looking something like this. Yeah, we are looking something like this. So you realize that we got close, right? And price has decided to drop. Now to what price is doing and what I intend to do currently. So there was this particular POI over here which I was expecting price to respect and push to the top to complete the whole swing trade, but price has done something else, and I need to start doing something to this particular swing trade. Okay, so what happened is this POI that I was expecting price to respect has been taken out. It has been taken out nicely and slightly, okay, but I am trying to console myself that, you know, we have this kind of like equal lows over there, which has been taken out by an FU candle, like a tiny wick. Okay, so we have this as equal lows, which was taken out by this tiny wick over here. Okay, so it's taking about this tiny wick over here. So I'm looking at this like an FU candle, right, which will then continue the buys all the way to the top. Okay, but you know, with my experience, there are certain price actions that I've seen before, and so when I see them happening again, I know what I'm looking at. Okay, so even though price is kind of giving me this vibe, but this is what I'm looking at. You know, when we tapped into this weekly POI, price didn't tap inside. I mean, very tight. You know, it was a little sharp case, like, and then price just moved away, right? So price just kissed the POI. So I'm expecting like a complex pullback, and if I'm expecting a complex pullback, it means that if I still hold this trade, price will come for me, because I'll be expecting something like, let's say we have a push like this, which is this high over here, and we have, let's say this is the POI. Sorry, so let's say this is the POI, and we came in like this. Oh, what is this? So let's say we came in like this. Okay, we just came to kiss it. Okay, so I'm a certain price to come back like this. So this is what we call a complex pullback. Okay, so I want to see price come there like that before we can what start a move to the top. So I'm expecting something like calm down. So baby, calm down, calm down. So I'm expecting something like this to tap into the POI proper, and then we will see if price will now start again. So with this, what I'm going to do is, instead of closing my full volume, like the remaining volume left here, instead of closing 100% of it, I'm not going to do that, but I am just going to close like, let's say, half of it, or let's say 70% of it, and leave the rest of the 30 to see what price does. If we get to the top, cool. If we decide to come down and take me out on the remaining two, why not? I'm already aware of whatever price is trying to communicate to me. Okay, so this is how I got in on this massive trade. Okay, so in summary, just a little lesson for you. If you want to take in swing trade, make sure the time frames are what aligning. Okay, make sure the time frames are telling you a story, a particular story that you can align yourself with and say, hey, this is exactly what price is saying, and so I should do as such. Okay, and always react to price. If I'm not reacting to price, I would not tell you that I'll be taking another volume off because I've seen a break. Okay, I would have just married my buyers and told you I'm still looking for buys, so I'm leaving everything there. No, but because I'm reacting to price, I will take some off and leave just a little percentage in there to see what price will do with it. Okay, and so if price gets to this target, we are looking at a 1:221. Now pay attention, I didn't say 221%, I said 1:221 R. So there are some people out there who are always making noise that, hey, you did 100 R, you did 100 R. We can do 100 R, but it doesn't mean that you close 100%. No, because we need to manage the trades. Okay, we are not here to show off, we are here to make money, but then sometimes we just test our prowess to see how best we can take certain trading decisions as well. Okay, so I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please do well to give this video a thumbs up and also leave a comment in the comment section. I will see you with another insightful video that will help in your trading journey. Stay safe, all the best, bye bye.